So, professional victim and Casey Tron of the right wing, Brittany Venti, wrote an entire article besmirching anime because it apparently has ruined men. Pay no attention to the fact that it's probably just her own failures as both a woman and an individual. Let's just blame anime instead. Let's be like the 1990s post-Columbine. So welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol. And yes, we're going to talk about this. My tweet on this kind of blew up. Washed up e-girl whose biggest claim to fame is wearing blackface as a joke, which frankly I'm a-okay with, but what's the punchline exactly? Blames anime for her failures with men. More at 11. Because this is her article. I did read it. It is so unabashedly awful that she is actually vying for like the Kotaku, Polygon, that level of writing in terms of usurping them. So we're gonna go through it because frankly it must be done. I had to read it, now you have to hear it. Anime ruined an entire generation of men. Before we get into it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. And trust me, dunking on this dumb hoe absolutely qualifies as nerdy news. It's got anime in the title. Sexual vulgarity seems to be half the engagement on this platform. I wanted to talk about the vulgarity culture as a new writer on this site. And trust me, at least she has the self-awareness to put writer in these quotation marks here because, well, you know what? You'll just see. I think the sex talk is an overindulgence in degeneracy while giving the illusion of aristocracy, aka poser, and it's a cop-out for interesting writing. You notice how out the gate she's trying to use these really frilly words to come off as an intellectual? Well, this sort of vulgarity, I would like to draw you to this right here. People keep asking me about my coochie. March 1st, 2026, and yeah, she can be upset spaghetti all she wants about anime ruining young men. Doesn't really, say a whole lot about the OnlyFans culture or anything like that, which to be fair, men also perpetuate. Both sides of that are pretty fucked up. But the point is, you can't blame drawings, cartoons, fictional characters when you're out here parading yourself as some bastion of sexual morality. When you got your camera obviously, pointing at your titties that you got out, talking about your coochie, and she can make the claim, I'm doing it ironically. Oh, it's a gag, it's a bit. Look, you can only do the joke so many times before the joke actually just becomes fucking true. That's back to the blackface comment. Do I give a shit that she's done blackface? Frankly, no, not at all. But when you do it so many times, just like Melanie Matt dropping that dreaded F slur, you're a one-trick pony, and it just becomes sad. I define interesting in this context as either a niche topic or a unique take on any topic. I'm not expecting perfection. I'm expecting some goddamn effort on our writing social media. Then tell me, honey, why didn't you put in any effort? Or if you did put in effort, and this is the best you could do, pack it up and put on more blackface, because that's the only way your bitch ass getting any attention. I didn't want to contribute to what I find to be an issue, but I do want to address it. I only recently became active on Substack, and yes, I'm new around here. My medium is YouTube, writing my scripts for YouTube and streaming, which I've done for over a decade. Right, but that's why you're here now. So you've been streaming, you've been doing your little videos, and you've fallen off. And you've fallen off. The people that used to laud and applaud you, the people that used to think that you were the greatest thing ever back in 2016 during the Trump administration when you were fighting against the SJWs because the term woke hadn't even really taken off yet, you were something unique, something fresh. You were a pretty face that said the right things about the right wing. And then you came out as basically a covert feminist, blaming everything on men, the sexuality this, degeneracy that, without actually taking responsibility in any way, shape, or form for the monster that you helped create and the wheel that you perpetuated. And now, rather than taking that responsibility, you're gonna blame it on fucking anime. By the way, not just anime. She says anime, but nearly his entire article is literally just about Evangelion. It's a singular anime, but she wants to lobby this accusation for the entire medium, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Since the original internet before everything was cheapened by oversaturation, I pray that doesn't happen to this website. Oh, honey, it will. It happens to all websites. That's the nature of the internet. I'm noticing a theme, and it's that half of this site is people talking about some whore they fucked in a harsh way. Stellar. A-class writing. You'll love to see it. We went from We went from, I wanted to talk about the vulgarity culture as a new writer on the site. I think the sex talk is an overindulgence in degeneracy while giving the illusion of aristocracy. To, I'm noticing a theme on is that half this site is people talking about some whore they fucked in a harsh way. And that's the part you decided to bolden? In the same manner that I'm writing right now, here's an excerpt of what I'm talking about. Black evil bitch stole my virginity in Japan. Now, to be fair, this is just her showing an image from somebody else's writing, and we're not gonna read it because, frankly, who cares? It's Substack. I'm gonna be real. I don't think it's really relevant. This was just a snippet. It's trying to give American Psycho, but instead it's giving erotic fan fiction with zero tact. Well, then it was probably actually written by a woman. I'm just, if Morning Glory Milk and Farm is anything to go off of, it's probably actually written by a woman and this is some sort of roleplay. The worst part about this is these people think they're unique. Bitch! You think you're unique! You think that putting on blackface to get angry clicks to piss off the libs and whatnot for the 1,000th time is unique. You're just another cog in the machine, another vaguely white passing mixed race girl with right-wing politics. Like, nothing about you is unique. Not even the insults to your character and to the way you physically look are unique anymore because everyone's regurgitated the Sid the Sloth meme to the point where you've started regurgitating the Sid the Sloth meme, which is why I went so aptly with the Casey Tron of the right wing, which, by the way, is actually a lot more accurate than the Sid the Sloth stuff. I've been on this site 3 whole seconds. I've already seen a bunch of guys who write as le pathetic guy who can't get pussy. By the way, pay attention. This is when the inability to write really creeps in. She uses this sentencing, this framing, this terminology quite a bit. Le pathetic guy who can't get pussy, but pretend they will choke mid-tier whore. She's a whore because she's pity fucking them out. I mean, again, can't even acknowledge that women are. By the way, I'm not even denying these types of dudes exist. Look, I've seen some of these simping ass motherfuckers out here dropping fat stacks on OnlyFans thoughts and Twitch hoes and whatnot. Frankly, a lot of them have probably done it to her. Need I remind you, she streams and makes videos. She's got her own simps. But yeah, let's remove all accountability from the woman and just being like, look, she's only a whore because she's pity fucking you. You're the bigger problem. I mean, the whore could just not pity fuck. The whore could have some common decency and say, no, I'm not going to pity fuck you. In fact, you're gross. Get away from me. I'm calling the police now. Something to that effect. But sure, go off, queen. Because they're like so angry and bitchless. Yawn. Again, this is Kotaku level stuff. Because they're like so angry and bitchless. To be fair, and I don't say this lightly, I have read at least one, only one I can think of, Alyssa Mercante article that actually was a well-written article. Now, granted, it's hard to really fuck up an article about why the PS5 Pro is irrelevant and worth nothing, but nonetheless, she was still able to do it. Somehow, this is worse than even that. They all think they're Patrick Bateman or Shinji from Evangelion. Now, hold on a moment here. I've been an anime fan for many years, boys. I've been an anime fan for nearly my entire life. Yes, I'm talking back in the mid and early 90s when you had to get that shit subbed on VHS and you had no goddamn idea what OVA you were just randomly renting from the video store. Needless to say, I've never once heard a dude compare himself with Shinji. Not in any positive way. I've heard dudes who are anime fans roast other guys. Homie, you acting like Shinji right here. Get in the robot, Shinji. Quit being a bitch, Shinji. I've never heard any proud, upstanding, happy male, or any male, compare themselves to Shinji. She just making shit up at this point. If you don't watch anime, good for you. Me, who grew up watching and appreciating it, it's this teen boy who has this harem of girls during a war against what they refer to as angels. Why'd you put angels in quotes? Like, no, who they refer to as angels. Yes, in the anime, they're angels. Contextually, you don't need the quotation marks here. So, again, a writer, she is not. They fight in big mech robots that synchronize with the pilots. Q, he's literally me. Again, I don't really know. That's not congruent. That's a non sequitur. That doesn't add anything to what you're trying to say, because dudes aren't in there, like, dudes aren't out there making some sort of analogy in the real world to getting in mechs and synchronizing and whatnot. Like, the he's literally me thing is actually more appropriate for, like, dudes to go to the gym and idolize Goku or something. That's when you could do the Q, he's literally me, and it would make sense. Again, this is pathetic. It's not even pathetic because she's wrong. It's pathetic because she's wrong, and it's so poorly written. Like, people accuse me in my most recent Resident Evil 9 review of using ChatGPT to write the script. No, I'm just a fucking good writer. This, on the other hand, I can absolutely believe is her, because even an AI writer can't be this fucking retarded. If I see someone with a Shinji profile pic, okay. First of all, if you see anyone with an anime profile pic, it just shouldn't be taken seriously. They're not a real fucking person. But if they're doing a Shinji profile pic, girly, I don't know how to tell you this. It's kind of surprising you've been on the internet as long as you have, considering, you know, doing the streams and the videos, and you haven't realized this. It would be for a meme. You know, memes, those funny things. Like Shinji is the star, the king of many a meme on the internet. I mean, for example, if you just give me a moment here, I can share for you one of those Shinji memes.
I know you've done absolutely nothing productive today, but who gives a shit? You're just a weird little gay boy doing the best you can, and I'm proud of you for making it this far in life as a gay little weirdo. Keep shining.
That is a hot swimming pool lady with the voice of Donald Trump calling Shinji a weird little gay boy. Okay, dudes with Shinji profile pics, if they're doing it at all, are doing it ironically. That's the joke. But somehow this has gone over your oversized head, or at least the oversized frizzles coming out you have black hair. Like, I already know they're bad news. It's screaming you have boy PD. BPD, but for boys. Bipolar disorder, but for boys. Boy PD. Are you sure you ain't trying to get a job at Polygon or the Mary Sue? Like, you can't have done this seriously. Boy PD. You know dudes can just fucking have BPD, right? You could just say it screams you have BPD. Again, you're out here trying to claim, you know, right-wing this, you know, MAGA this, America first this, but this is some covert feminist bullshit, dude. It's like Hello Kitty obsessed girls, but way worse because it's some neurotic, useless soft boy, and again, look up, she spells boy, who is a very online faggot, can't even, you know, actually put faggot there properly, branding himself as a less sensitive young male. Oh, there it is, again. How many paragraphs away was that previous one? I think it was it right up here? Yeah, le pathetic guy. And then here's your second paragraph. And now paragraph number 3. So you use the same terminology, the same phraseology, within 2 paragraphs of one another. Again, someone needs to take just like creative writing 101. You could do like a 4-hour day course for it, an adults only 4-hour day course at like your local community center, all right? I've done them before. It's simple. It's fun. It's fine. Christ in heaven. The protagonist, Shinji, despite being a pathetic loser, has options of a redhead German girl, a mid-20s pedophilic cougar. Again, needs to throw the word pedophilic in there. Now, mind you, yeah, Masato is a little bit weird what she says to Shinji in the moments before her death. But she also knows she's gonna die. And she also says, by the way, if you were older. So, I mean, again, she doesn't actually... I'm not here to defend or not defend the fucking characters in anime. Why? Because it's anime. It's fake. Or a girl that reminds him of his dead mom, despite being a blank canvas. For reasons I won't spoil in case somehow you haven't seen or heard of this anime. It is iconic with cool imagery, but I'm not going to sweep the truth under the rug here. Well, there is no truth. You're making shit up and calling it the truth. Again, very liberal feminist mindset. This is my truth. They seem to be focused on emulating what I'd argue is the worst aspects of the show, or at best, they use a little bit of the aesthetic and design for branding. This 90s anime is still talked about today. And yes, this 90s anime is still talked about today. Evangelion is ranked as one of the greatest anime of all time. Now, if you guys know me, I've been wildly consistent on my thoughts of EVA, which is, it's fine. It's actually incredibly overrated. It's certainly no Serial Experiments Lane, but it's fine. I do got me a cool Asuka statue in the background over there, though. That's something. It's so edgy and overdone. I have anime fatigue now, as well as less sensitive young man who calls women foids every other tweet. Now, there's a lot to unpack in just this one single sentence. It's so edgy and overdone. Whoa, 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 whoa. Full stop. Stop, stop, stop. Are you, the broad that, again, people keep asking me about my coochie, and again, biggest claim to fame is wearing blackface on Halloween. You're gonna talk about things being edgy and overdone? That's the pot calling the kettle Brittany Venti in blackface. I have anime fatigue now, as well as less sensitive young man. Okay, so now we've got a third time in three or four paragraphs. So, creative writing, still not your strong suit. Who calls women foids every other tweet. Now look, I consider myself a pretty proud misogynist, right? I do. Consider myself quite high, quite upper echelon, a 5-star general of the misogyny army. I don't know anybody that used the term foid, dude. I don't know anybody that used the term foid. I've never seen the term foid except women bitching about the term foid, but I've never actually seen a dude do it. And look, I follow some pretty misogynistic motherfuckers on X. Some pretty misogynistic motherfuckers follow me on X. Frankly, misogyny is awesome. It's base. It's incredible. A lot of y'all women suck. Those of you that don't, you're also base and incredible. Point is, I've never seen the word foid be used unironically in a tweet by a dude. So where are you pulling this from? I'd like to, you've given a bunch of examples for Evangelion, although you blurt out the part where he, jerked off and came in his own hands or whatnot. So sure, again, there's that anti-degeneracy mindset, despite all that on full display. But yeah, give me some examples of these foid tweets. You're gonna find them from nameless, faceless, nobody accounts, by the way. A lot of people on Twitter, it's not Twitter, it's X, clearly bled over here and are bringing their sick, perverted minds with them, where they just cannot get over themselves. You can be a part of a culture and like certain aspects of it, and also be critical of others. It's called not being a slave. This, by the way, is what should have been in quotes. Remember how earlier I said that the angels should have been in quotes, because contextually it works within the sentence, because that's just flat out what they're called in the show, angels? When you do the it's called, it'd be it's called, comma, not being a slave in quotes. This bitch can't do anything right! I like Evangelion. I like 90s and early 2000s anime. I base some of my aesthetics off of Japanese fashion and anime. But we're not the same. I don't watch anime to come. And there it is. If you doubted at any point that she was ever a covert feminist, this is that Kotaku logic. This is that Game Rant logic. This is that PC Gamer logic. That Mary Sue logic. That The Gamer logic. That Polygon logic. And I can go on and on and on. Because how many times have you heard the phrase, what, why don't you just go watch porn instead? Oh, do you need every video game character to be someone you can masturbate to, that you can jerk off to? Like, any variation of that phrase. We're not the same. I don't watch anime to come. To be fair, you're so dry down there, I don't know what could make you come, considering all of this reads as your failings as a woman and blaming it on men in anime. Basically, doing the stereotypical female thing of, I'm upset that men have hobbies. Like, that's what this is. Most other anime fans don't watch anime to come. At least, I certainly assume not. Now, there's anime that's made for that. It's called hentai. And trust me, there are plenty of dudes and females that get all up on that shit. Not really my thing, but hey, you do you. While I get why they would pick Evangelion, since it's from the golden age of anime, these same people are why modern anime is shallow and sucks. It caters to them. Trust me. No anime fan, none, from the 90s and early 2000s, are upset that modern anime caters to us, because it doesn't. Frankly, the vast majority of folk that like anime from that generation are actually deeply upset with modern anime because it doesn't cater to us, because it actually caters to the modern American, Western, post-COVID era, frankly, leftist tourists that only recently got into anime because of the COVID lockdowns. Like, don't you for a fucking moment try and compare the two, because there's, this might be the most egregious sin of this entire, well, frankly, I hesitate to even call it an article. I loved older anime. I don't really like current culture or fans. It's also uglier and rounder now, by the way, like modern Pokemon. Now, I've had my gripes with modern animation or modern character design in a lot of instances, but you can't just use one example. She's like, oh, it's uglier and rounder now. Then she uses everything from My Hero Academia. Like, my girl. This is just a visual style for one anime. This is a visual and art design style for one specific anime. You cannot make this claim. You cannot logically and philosophically consistently make this claim about modern anime in general. It's just objectively untrue. I am grieving. Oh my god, trust me, me too. And I'm sure my viewers are at this point because they're still watching the video. Shout out, thank you, by the way. And then she shows this right here. I miss my K magazines as shown above. I miss old anime and it being appreciated for the plot, vibe, and music. Oh my god, you left out a comma. The plot, comma, vibe, comma, and music. Thank God she put writer in quotes at the very beginning of this. Instead of angsty, sad, loser, larpy, effeminate internet guys wanting to ejaculate all over what was once an art. And she ends it with Inuyasha, which was a shoujo anime made for women to cream over. She doesn't even understand the irony here. This is a female-oriented manga and anime here that was specifically made to cater to the female romantic mentality while also still keeping in line with that sort of shonen thing that boys are into. Made by a woman, for women, but everybody can enjoy it. By the way, this is where she ends the article. Just, instead of angsty loser, larpy, effeminate internet men wanting to ejaculate all over what was once art. And then that's the end of it. Let me remind you guys, the title is Anime Ruined an Entire Generation of Men. She doesn't actually give a thesis statement about how that's true. She doesn't actually use anything to back that up. She doesn't make any sort of conclusion to back up the fact that this is her thesis statement. Like, this is just long-form rambling. There's no editing here. I'm sure she didn't have anyone proofread it. There's no logical consistency. This is the worst possible way. First of all, I'm so over and done and annoyed with all these dumb broads out here that are wanting to be like part of the right wing when really they've got covert feminist stuff, because she's the same sort of tourist that just came in, usurped anime, changed it, altered it, tried to make it something it isn't. We bitch about tourists and we bitch about leftists. Yeah, fair enough. This broad doing the exact same thing. I miss when anime was about this thing that was never actually about, and you're actually trying to do historical revisionism to make it about something to fit your narrative. That is straight out the tourist textbook. Alright, Casey Tron Jr., so don't even start with me on some of that shit. But on top of it, I can at least respect some bullshit article like this if it's competently written, but this one don't even have that. Like, not only does she not actually make any solid case for anything she's arguing, but she writes like a fucking 6th grader. So it's actually grading on multiple levels. Dude, I can't wait for this video to drop. I can't wait to see the absolute roasty coming in for Brittany Venti. Absolutely worth it. Like, yeah, I was pretty harsh right here. Washed up e-girl's biggest claim to fame is wearing blackface as a joke, blames anime for her failures from men. Look, I'm pretty happy with this, right? 17k likes, 23k views, but I know that we can pump them numbers up. I'm going to pump the numbers up on this video too. These are my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at Bolt the Word, and please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Not always massive takedowns of just like lying, grifting, right-wing thoughts, but usually anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check us out on Instagram at wordsparadise_Leon and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles we go over on a day-to-day basis, choose the videos we react to on the daily streams, and of course get involved with over 250 other viral idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further because we do care about diversity. Only one kind of diversity of thought. That's interesting to you. Join the Discord, hit subscribe. Until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.